I'm Jose Etienne, and topping the weekend edition, a woman is now dead while others are in hospital following a brutal car crash early Sunday morning. And tonight, authorities are once again pleading with the public to drive with caution amid heightened concerns about frequent fatal traffic accidents. Arlington Ritchie Jr. was present on that scene early this morning and brings us the details in tonight's top story.
Two mangled cars on a trail of debris lined Emmanuel Drive just off Malcolm Road after a deadly collision claimed the life of a woman in her 20s and left several others in need of medical attention early Sunday morning. The impact was so forceful, it left both vehicles on opposite side of the street, a clear sign of the severity of the crash. Superintendent Karan Jennings of the RBPF Traffic Division confirmed that first responders arrived to find a white Acura ILX and a gray Mazda Demio heavily damaged. Here's what they know thus far.
Based on our evidence and the damages of the vehicles, I could say at this time that speed was definitely a factor in this accident.
Authorities say the Acura was heading east and the Mazda, driven by the victim, was traveling west when the collision occurred. As for those who survived the crash,
Gray Demio, there were two persons in the Gray Demio, and in the white ILX there was one driver, just a driver by himself. They were treated by EMS and taken to the hospital.
Investigators have yet to confirm if alcohol was a factor, but they are once again urging motorists to exercise caution behind the wheel.
Specifically for persons traversing the streets at these hours, to be careful, be cognizant of their surroundings, and if you are out having fun, make sure you have a designated driver.
Arlington Ritchie Jr., Eyewitness News.
Well, in news from the courts, a 15-year-old boy has been charged with murder in the magistrate's court last week, Friday. Police say the teenage defendant shot and killed 31-year-old Elroy Roll on Williams Lane just off Kemp Road earlier this month. Prosecutors also alleging that the accused had an accomplice who helped him ambush Roll as he exited a residence. Now, due to the nature of the charge, he was not required to enter a plea and was denied bail. However, he returns to court on August 28th for the presentation of the voluntary bill of indictment. Until then, he will be held on remand in the adolescent unit at the Bahamas Department of Correctional Services. Still talking court news, a 52-year-old teacher also having his day in court. It is alleged that he molested two underage female students in Exuma over the last 2 years. David Cecile King was arraigned on 2 counts of indecent assault before Senior Magistrate Anishka Isaacs. Prosecutors allege that King inappropriately touched a 12-year-old girl in a classroom at the Ellen Coakley High School in Morristown, Exuma, sometime between May and June 2023. King is further alleged to have inappropriately touched another 15-year-old female student in the morning at Morristown on January 20th. The accused was not required to enter a plea and was denied bail. King will be remanded to the Bahamas Department of Correctional Services until his VBI is potentially served on September 9th. Meanwhile, days after a police officer was placed on administrative leave following the leak of explosive voice notes that appear to tie him to a possible criminal operation, Free National Movement Chairman Dr. Dwayne Sands is renewing his calls for a commission of inquiry to be launched into the police force. This as the recently leaked recordings, which mention weapons, cover-ups, and violent outcomes, have raised serious concerns and questions yet again about police misconduct at the highest levels. Sands has been making these demands for months now, most recently when a senior policeman was indicted by United States prosecutors on cocaine and firearm-related charges in late 2024. However, Sands says he's concerned that his plea continues to fall on deaf ears.
Commission of inquiry is absolutely necessary. We need to restore confidence in the Royal Bahamas Police Force. There are far too many honest, hard-working police officers whose reputations have been now brought into the balance for no fault of their own. And the few bad apples need to be called out for what they're doing, and they need to be removed from uniform. I think the entire public has been looking on, wondering whether or not there would be any resolution to the concerns that were raised, to the indictment, to the allegations made at the former senior police officers involved in those notorious voice notes, etc. Yes, we've seen a shakeup in the police force, but we have heard absolutely nothing about that matter. And the challenge is that the entire reputation of the country as it relates to our armed forces is at stake.
Well, in other news, on Saturday afternoon, authorities were alerted on the discovery of a male body in a grassy area off Independence Drive. Here's what Police Chief Superintendent Sharia King says investigators know at this stage.
That discovery was classified as a sudden death. And so we are doing further investigations into that matter, and once an autopsy is completed, but there's no foul play in that matter. It was a male.
Authorities are also investigating what they say is a suspicious death of a man in his 20s after he collapsed on Bay Lily Drive in the Seabreeze area on Friday night. Again, Police Chief Superintendent King giving these details in that incident.
Police is presently investigating a suspicious death in the area of Bay Lily. What we know thus far from our investigation is that officers that were on routine patrol on our operation unit was flagged down by passerby and was notified of an adult male, approximately in his early 20s, who was in some type of distress. Officers responded and found this adult male on the side of the road, and blood was coming from his mouth or from his upper body. As a result, officers contacted police control room. EMS responded and confirmed that there was no vital signs. But we're asking anyone with any information into this matter to please contact police control room or police at 919, 911 or CID at 502-9992.
National Security Minister Wayne Monroe mincing no words as he seemingly criticized a decision by a local insurance company to increase health insurance premiums for retired police officers. Concerns are now mounting that the reported $300 increase could potentially leave some officers without coverage. The officers who are participants in Kalina's group insurance scheme were reportedly notified verbally on April 14th about the increase, with the change taking effect from May 1st in some cases. Now, Eyewitness News understands that the new premium structure would consume more than half of the officers' monthly pension payments.
I do understand that when they leave the service, they have the option of continuing the medical insurance, but they have to pay for it. Part of the inequities of private insurance is this. They say that your risk becomes greater the older you are. And of course, you retire when you're over a certain age. And so that is why from the Christie administration to this administration, we continue to look at expanding NHI, which would be to provide for persons. The private insurers, they don't really care about us. They care about the dollar. And so when they assess the risk of somebody older having health issues is greater than the risk of somebody younger having health issues.
Well, in just a matter of days, Prime Minister and Minister of Finance Philip Davis will deliver his budget communication in the lower chamber. And it comes days after Davis noted that the country's economy is progressing well. However, there remains criticisms from ordinary Bahamians who aren't reportedly benefiting from the country's stabilized economy, as inflation remains a vexing problem. Communications Director in the Office of the Prime Minister, Latrey Ramming, says government isn't oblivious to those concerns while insisting that officials plan to address them in the upcoming budget presentation.
What the Prime Minister was speaking to was obviously the country from a macro level, debt to GDP, growth levels is improving significantly. The Bahamas have a very positive economic growth. We have a very low unemployment. But the Prime Minister is quite aware, notwithstanding all of this accomplishments, that if it has to touch the pockets of the average man, and that's why he's doing the cuts on VAT. And I'm sure, most certainly, next week the Prime Minister will make a number of announcements to continue to provide relief and support for the Bahamian families. So, yes, we have done a lot. There's a lot more to do, and we understand that whilst the country economy is performing well generally, that we still have to bring relief to Bahamian families.
Well, if you've got a news tip or if you've seen news in the making, call the Eye on News hotline at 397-6397. We also invite you to send your letters to the editor for publication on all of our social media platforms at eyewitnessnewsbahamas@gmail.com. And if you're watching on our Facebook or YouTube pages, share your thoughts about today's stories in the comments section below. We want to hear from you. And still to come tonight, young Bahamians share a moment of pride after successfully completing a healthcare program. And later, the Coalition of Independents already in campaign mode, it appears, and party supporters say they're optimistic leading up to the general election. We've got more on those stories, but first, here's a check on tonight's weather forecast.
While others see customers as numbers, we see our customers as people, neighbors, friends who deserve more than one-sided connections. That's why we are redefining what real connection is by prioritizing our customers and showing our appreciation by putting our money where your loyalty is. BTC customers claim your $200 Bahamas Air gift card when you add postpaid mobile to your internet plan. That's loyalty that flows both ways.
In 2010, a grant helped Bahamas striping group of companies get started. Today, that seed has grown into a national force, building roads, airports, and brighter futures. Now, we're leading the way through public-private partnerships, what we call 3Ps, where government vision meets private sector innovation. 3Ps empowers local subcontractors, giving them the chance to bid. And with every contract, we're putting money directly into communities, creating jobs, supporting families, and fueling growth. From roads in Eleuthera to community centers in the inner city, we're not just laying asphalt, we're laying foundations for financial opportunity. At Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, we believe in building more than infrastructure. We're building up Bahamians who build the Bahamas. 3Ps, public-private partnerships for people, progress, and prosperity.
Why did we decide to put together our country's first nationwide comprehensive energy reforms? We knew that there were no easy answers. BPL was more than $500 million in debt when we came in, operating a failed electricity grid with key components on the verge of collapse. A grid incapable of transmitting solar energy. Changing all of this is a huge project, one that is finally underway. The sky-high bills, the chronic power outages, they've hurt Bahamian families and Bahamian businesses. We are going to leave all of that in the past. We are taking it all on, and transforming energy is going to transform our economy. Go online now to learn more.
You work hard to provide for and protect the ones you love. However, life can present unexpected challenges. Who you call in times of need matters. Insurance Management is a Bahamian-owned company that has been serving our community for over 40 years, offering a wide range of coverage for all of your personal, professional, and commercial needs. When life happens, rest easy knowing that our skilled and experienced agents are there for you in your time of need, so that you can get back to what matters most. Insurance Management. Nobody does it better.
Measles is on the rise around the world, and the Bahamas is at risk,
which makes us very vulnerable as a nation for the possible outbreak of measles cases.
Every Saturday in May from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., the Ministry of Health and Wellness will host MMR immunization visits in South Beach, Coconut Grove, Fox Hill, and Elizabeth Estates. Clinics in these areas will remain open until 8 p.m. twice per week. Get your child immunized now.
You're watching Eyewitness News.
Welcome back. While dozens of young Bahamians marking a milestone days ago as they crossed the stage of a healthcare program hosted by a private healthcare company here in the country. Our Delano Roker takes it from here.
Cohorts graduating from the Doctors Hospital Institute of Learning. The event, held at Grace Community Church, reflected on the dedication of those who are about to embark on their journey in the healthcare sector, an industry which many say is vital to the well-being of the Bahamian community. Charles Diggis, President and CEO of Doctors Hospital's health system, states that investing in the future is crucial for modernizing our health services nationwide.
In the private sector, we realize it's hugely important for us to prepare for future success, and in doing that, we need to literally grow our own. And so this Institute of Learning, this graduation represents a culmination of growing our own. And we know that that is going to assist in sustaining our success in the future.
According to Diggis, the Doctors Hospital Institute of Learning aims to assist graduates with employment even long after their graduation ceremony.
It is highly likely that at least the top tier of graduates would segue very nicely into the health system, almost with guaranteed job positions. Obviously, the classes may be much bigger than the needs that we have, and so we also extend the provision of talent professions into the wider healthcare space.
Consultant Delano Roll shares that the healthcare sector will be improved with these new bright minds entering the industry.
Now these individuals are credentialized, they're certified to be able to function in these capacities throughout our country to be able to provide services, quality services to our people, the Bahamian people. And so this means that we now have even greater volume of persons.
Among the graduates is 2025 valedictorian, scrub tech Grace Bow, who has set her sights on becoming a surgeon.
I do have a degree in biochem from UB, so for me it wasn't as tedious, but it was, you had to apply, you had certain things you had to provide, like a health certificate, etc. Then we had A&P courses, everybody had to take it, medterm and A&P. So even if you don't have a science background, you can still be able to get into any course because they kind of prep you for it. So after that, then I started the scrub tech course.
Delano Roker, Eyewitness News.
Well, the news from the political arena, Coalition of Independents leader Lincoln Bain asserting that the party has gained strong momentum on the ground since launching its slate of candidates months ago. According to Bain, feedback from residents across various communities has been overwhelmingly positive, with many expressing support for the party's message and platform.
We've launched some of our candidates on September 16th. We launched most of them. We launched some more recently, and we're going to launch the last few, probably about 6 or so, in the coming weeks. And so far on the ground, it's been phenomenal. Every community we've gone into, people are saying that they're tired. They're tired of both the PLP and FNM. They're not falling for their tricks. You can see that those parties are not really resonating with the people. And so we think that something major is going to happen.
He also pointed to strong youth engagement, noting that the COI continues to resonate with younger voters, an advantage he believes is strengthened by being the youngest party leader in the race.
But I think that the younger voters can relate to me more than the other two leaders. One of them is in his 70s, and Michael Pintar is in his 60s. I'm still in my 40s, and at the next election, I'll still be in my 40s. And I think they can relate to us because we have really taken over social media. And so we pay a lot of attention to social media where they are, and we are looking out for their future. And so if they're smart, they're going to look out for their future.
Well, as the Bahamas gears up to independence, national pride is not only being expressed in ceremonies and flags, but also in canvas. The National Independence Secretariat recently hosted a youth forum at iStudio, putting young Bahamian creatives at the heart of the celebration. Our Delano Roca has more in this report.
With bright colors and bold vision, a new wave of creativity is rising in the Bahamas, powered by the youth. Hosted inside the inspiring walls of iStudio, the National Independence Secretariat is using art as a bridge between generations, ahead of the country's 52nd independence celebrations. Chair of the National Independence Secretariat, Leslie Miller Bryce, sharing that the pieces from the forum will continue to be involved from canvas to celebration stage.
Their art today is not only going to be displayed here, it's actually going to be taken away from this space. And at all of our independence events that we have coming up, you will see these art, beautiful pieces that these kids are doing. They're going to be displayed, celebrated, just so that other persons will be able to see what it is that our young creatives have to produce. They are the future, and so it was important for us to highlight them.
The artwork created during this youth forum won't just stay on the studio walls, with backing from the Life for Key Foundation and the Central Bank, who will collect selected works created at today's forum. Owner of ICE and artist Antonius Roberts is stating today was more than an exhibition. It was a gateway, a chance for students to connect with professionals, gain mentorship, and begin mapping their creative journeys.
Because in order for us to continue to inspire our young people and to show them that what they can do with their talents in this country and make a living is so very important.
With select pieces that will be featured during independence events across the country offering a national platform for young Bahamians, artist and mentor Jamal Roll says the forum is important for pushing the arts.
I remember when I was a youngster, I couldn't wait for the summers to go to the art workshop that was held by Antonius Roberts. So I'm so happy that he invited me to be a part of this. And this is so nostalgic for me to see some of my peers who participated in forums such as this when we were young, for us to be here as teachers. And so this is an important day. I think this shows that the government does support creatives and the orange economy.
And the students are not taking the moment for granted. Many say the event has sparked a renewed sense of purpose and pride.
It's very important because it's a chance to meet different artists and build up your confidence to create pieces that you would love.
And it was a good experience because it allows us to connect with other children our age and allows us to create pieces that we like.
As we're nearing the 52nd independence, the future looks bright for young creatives and the bustling orange economy. I'm Delano Roker, Eyewitness News.
Well, coming up in tonight's Sunday feature, growing excitement for the Miss Universe Bahamas contest. We'll tell you all about that right after this break.
Need a new car for your business? Well, EV Motors and the Bahamas Development Bank have some news for you.
At the Bahamas Development Bank, we are committed to promoting Bahamian businesses and entrepreneurs. With our green lending program, businesses are able to access up to 100% financing to purchase electric vehicles for commercial and fleet use. We are so excited to partner with EV Motors for this initiative to encourage and empower business owners to drive green.
If you haven't visited our dealership on Tonic Williams Starling Highway as yet, we have a wide variety of brand new EVs from some of your favorite brands like Toyota, BYD, and Mercedes-Benz. As the official distributor of Kerry commercial vehicles, we offer a selection of high-performance commercial EVs. Currently, you can purchase the Kerry Cargo Van and the Kerry Elephant Truck, and soon flatbeds and box trucks for all your business needs.
To access up to 100% financing to purchase an EV for your business, you will need to provide us with a few documents: the business plan or executive summary, business license, historical financials, relevant KYC documents, and the vehicle and insurance quote.
With an interest rate of 6.75% and a repayment period of up to 8 years, you don't want to miss this fantastic opportunity.
To apply, visit our website today at bahamasdevelopmentbank.com or give us a call at 702-5700.
7.5 years, but I walk in here all of a sudden, total stranger. I'm calling you Rick and Sheila.
I win. At Island Lock, we take sports seriously. Get ready to experience the thrill of winning anytime and any place. Bet in real time and live the thrill of every play while watching your winnings stack up. It's your chance to score big with fast payouts and a world-class experience. Get in the game and bet the Bahamian way with Island Luck Sportsbook.
You're watching Eyewitness News.
Welcome back to the weekend edition. Well, contestants from across the country competing for one title. Here's what's driving this year's Miss Universe Bahamas 2025 finalists. Our intern, Layla Sands, has more in tonight's Sunday feature.
8 young Bahamian women from across the country are vying for the coveted title of Miss Universe Bahamas 2025, representing islands, businesses, and social initiatives. The contestants include Vanya Cartwright, Miss Exuma Home Rentals, Tamia Forbes, Miss Andros, Holly Bowe, Miss Heal Wellness, Marissa Coakley, Miss Exuma, Naisha Tylis, Miss New Providence, Malik Bowe, Miss Amphibious Land and Sea Tours, Beyonce Forbes, Miss Grand Bahama, Trinae Thompson, Miss BLOF, and Promise Me Photography. Each candidate began their chat with Eyewitness News by sharing the social cause closest to her heart.
My platform is breaking generational curses and rewriting the narrative for young girls.
So I chose mental health because I too struggled with mental health issues being away in college.
My platform is youth professional development. Well, this really isn't a platform to me, it's more so my purpose.
My platform is polycystic ovarian syndrome because I do suffer with it as well.
My platform is called Audacity Uncaged. That topic stems from a personal movement called The Audacity to Be Uncaged. It stemmed from my first book, which is Uncaged, Release Your Inner Queen, and it was my way of sharing my legacy and leaving my legacy with the world and talking about my ideology of beauty and how I came to understand this idea of what beautiful meant for me.
While the competition is fierce, the candidates agreed that the experience has fostered a deep sisterhood.
I love the girls so much. Everyone brings such different personalities to the table, and that's to be expected. And so it's like getting to have 9 new family members added to an already existing and lovable family. Everyone gets along very well. We all are a little silly, so as to be expected.
Honestly, this year was such a tight-knit group for me. Everyone was super supportive. As Malik mentioned, we have our different personalities, and it just brings such a diverse group together, you know.
And for me, I am loving it because I do learn and I'm very inspired by all of the girls.
When asked what being a queen means to them, each contestant offered a unique perspective, but all echoed a common theme: leadership through service.
I think the idea of being a queen is more of a mindset than anything else, right? We're all queens. We all have something unique to offer and bring to the world, and it's a matter of showing up as our authentic self, uncaged, and having this audacious faith in knowing that we are enough.
Firstly, leadership. Being a queen requires being a great leader, being somebody that people can look up to. But also being a queen is a job, it's a duty that is bigger than self.
What it means to be a queen is to be a leader, one that steps up, that provides service to her people, that allows her people to feel heard and just listens to them.
Fans can support their favorite contestant by participating in the People's Choice Vote. Voting is available through the official Miss Universe Bahamas website at mubahamas.com, with the deadline set for May 25th at 8 p.m. Layla Sands, Eyewitness News.
Well, that does it for us in the weekend edition. For all of us here at Eyewitness News, I'm Jose Etienne. Thanks so much for joining us, and good night.
So you want a space, but not just any space. You need something with a little more potential. So how about 1,000 square feet of room to play with? Superb audio and video production capability, digital LED wall, full lighting grid, and about 124 seats to accommodate a full studio audience, with so many other features. Make us your home for your next concert, conference, and so much more. Honestly, the possibilities are endless. Here at ILTV Studios, we'd love to bring your next event to life. So what do you say? Do you want our space?